We are focusing on the dove of peace, a dove with an olive branch. It is a very ancient symbol of peace and truce. You can see these examples of stained glass windows with the dove holding a olive branch in some of them. All right, for today's lesson, we're going to be working on a dove of peace, so you'll need some paper, pencil, and things to draw with. Hello, boys and girls. We are going to be drawing a dove of peace on a piece of paper. This is a pretty nice piece of paper. It's a little thicker, which is nice. And we're going to think about the dove being in flight, okay? And when you're drawing an animal, you're going to break up the animal into shape. So, very lightly with a pencil, you might want to start with a circular head. Now you can see I'm making more than one circle because I'm lightly sketching. And I'll be erasing some of these extra lines. And I'm going to give this dove the body or a belly, right? So that's kind of like an oval. It has, I think I'll make it a little larger. I think that's small. Now remember, you draw lightly so that you can erase. Now we're not making this completely realistic. We're going to stylize a little bit. And I want to have the belly kind of swoop down a little bit more. A little bit heavier here. Of course, they have a tail feather. Could be kind of triangular. And I want it kind of stylized, so I'm going to make mine kind of boxy. And maybe even a bigger bird. I kind of like, maybe that's too big. I'm going to erase that line. Now I'm going to go over this in marker. So here's its head. Head, oval body, tail, and the wings. Big oval that comes out and down. Up and down. So these just sort of soft, almost like a slice of watermelon, really. Now, all these sketch lines are going to be your guide, I guess, to show you where you want your lines. Of course, I want to give this bird a beak. All right, now I'm going to start deciding where I want the outline. I'm going to simplify it a little bit. I think this will be the top of the head coming down, and I'm going to be connecting all these shapes. So these shapes inside, you erase. No one needs to see how you built up your drawing. Now I'm stylizing this a little bit, so I kind of want the shape to be a little sharper. Oops. And now I'm deciding where I want my outline. I'm going to come down, and I'm going to erase the inside. And I'd like a little beak here. Now, a dove of peace is usually carrying, for thousands of years, this is a symbol of peace and love, a olive branch. So I'm just drawing a line and some leaves. We don't grow olives here necessarily. It has to be pretty warm. Maybe down south. Definitely in Italy and Greece, where it's perfect for growing these. There we go. There's my olive branch. And I'd like to stylize this a little more. So I'm making sharper edges. I kind of want it a little chunkier. So I'm going to erase the inside lines. And there's my tail. And I'm going to make some really sharp lines here. So this is the style of drawing where you simplify and make it a little bit chunky and fun. Here's the eye of the bird. We wouldn't see the other eye because it's behind her or him. And here's one of the wings. Kind of made a little bend in the wing. And then it comes down, and it's going to hit this other wing, or not necessarily hit it. And I really want this style to be kind of squared. There we go. That's a nice wing. Have a line come down. I think I might want it a little over, so I'm going to change this angle. When you're working with pencil, it's really nice that you can change things easily. There we go. And I want some of those feather lines coming down for style. I'm going to create a design around it. Line coming down and over. It almost looks like in a window. Window, stained glass window. Because I'd like to add some additional designs to this picture. All right, I'm going to continue with a simple design around here. Maybe just a few lines going this way. A border design this way. I might add a few stars in the sky here. And then I'm going to take a black marker and outline. I'm not quite happy that these are crooked lines, so I don't really have a ruler here, but this will work. All right, well, this kind of straightens up my lines nicely, and I will end up erasing a lot of the wobbly lines here. And once you have a simple drawing of your dove, maybe add some designs behind it. Now we are trying to symbolize the dove of peace and create the feeling of a stained glass window. And stained glass windows have very simple shapes because the glass is cut and reattached in tiny little pieces. So I'm going to kind of keep the shapes simple. On these edges, just adding some diagonal lines, and I'm just framing this image in. And the pencil lines will end up being erased later or overlapped with black line. Now, the dove of peace is usually shown with an olive branch. That's a very old symbol. So I'm going to outline these leaves, this little oval type of leaves. And just continue, boys and girls, trying to outline your drawing. It's going to end up with a very graphic look and a more simplified look. And I'm just adding a few lines in here and modifying and correcting. It really pops off the page once you add black line. Everyone should have gotten a black Sharpie. And also I'm breaking up the space within this tail into simple shapes. I think I'll add the feet and a few lines in the wings. Not totally satisfied with this wing. I think I'm going to modify it a little. I know I keep twisting my paper just to see different angles. And once you have set up your image and broken it up into simple shape, we will add color. Doves, actually, some of the doves are white, some of them are a little pinky and light tannish brown. Some have bluish tints, so you could probably add a little color in here. I'm going to keep my dove white and work on the background to kind of make it pop off the page. I think my sky is going to be a darker blue, and I'm going to keep the dove white and start to add a little color. Okay, boys and girls, consider breaking up the frame around it a little bit so you have different sections to color in. And I really had to speed up this film because it took me quite a while to add the color. Thank you, boys and girls. Enjoy yourself. Bird of Peace. All right, boys and girls, you'll want to complete your work from edge to edge. Just adding a little bit more green in here and yellow for the stars. Be creative and enjoy yourself, boys and girls. Thank you.